Greetings to all my loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, your favorite, most sexiest spiritual advisor, Empress Oracle. On behalf of Starseed Galactic Federation, I have been given access to this knowledgeable information from my Akashic records for the purpose of helping humanity. This information is given directly to me as a divine channel, and any use and or reproduction of this information without proper acknowledgement or accreditation from where this information was received will result in instant karma for the plagiarizing parties and or individuals. And so it is. Now let's get into it, guys. I hope you guys are doing well, by the way, and I also would like to express gratitude for all of you who take the time out to watch my videos to obtain this healing wisdom, and not just obtain it for yourself, but also share it with others that you know are ascending or about to enter their spiritual journey, okay? Each one teach one, so spread the knowledge. Don't keep it to yourself. There's enough for me to go around, y'all. No worries. Today's topic is about being surrounded by failure, because first and foremost, what I can't help but notice that a lot of people are surrounded by failure, or a lot of people get very comfortable when they are around people who are not doing better than them, because then they have nothing to stand up to, you know? They have nothing to live up to. There's no standards for them, all right? And that right there is what is holding us as a people down, especially minorities, if we have not noticed that. If you haven't noticed, I'm here to wake you up about that. Sometimes people don't realize when they are surrounded by failure, because it has become the standard to which people around them hold themselves, like I said. And when I say that, I'm going to give you an example of that, right? And I'm going to use myself for this example. Back when I used to be a young, thriving rock star, and I used to go party and dance my ass off all the time and turn the fuck up, and I would have, you know, female associates that I would choose to go out with. Anytime we were going to go somewhere, they would always try to, you know, throw some shade or whatever, like, oh, don't be doing too much. I know you're gonna da-da-da-da-da. Why you always gotta be all dressed up? Where you think you about to go? Just because you want to look raggedy or like a bum bitch when you go out, that does not mean that I do, right? Just because you hold yourself to a certain standard, which is not even truly acceptable or appropriate for yourself, or at least it should not be, because then it displays that you have low self-worth. And just because I choose to hold myself in a higher standard, I choose to show how I view myself on the inside, on the outside. That does not mean that I think that I'm better than you. What that means, if you feel that way and you have to throw shade, is that you need to step your shit up. And don't come for me unless I send for you. That's a perfect example of that. A lot of people, they get upset when they see people who hold themselves to a standard that is higher than how they view themselves. And it just eats them up on the inside. And if you really pay attention to the people that you have around you, if you really pay attention to the comments that come out of their mouth, the subliminals, the slight shade, the overcast in their undertones of their voice whenever they are forcing out some dry ass compliments or something, or even the things that they don't say because they feel as though if they withhold, you know, those positive words of reinforcement or acknowledgement of whatever it is that you are doing, it's going to highlight the fact that they are not doing the same, or they are not holding themselves to that same standard. You need to cut the motherfuckers. Failure comes in many forms, and lack of accountability breeds contentment with less than standard treatment. I also cannot help but notice when I look around, you know, when I go different places and I see different people, right? They don't, not only do they not take accountability for the fact how they are surrounding themselves around failure, they also have a lack of accountability, and then they end up feeling contentious towards you because you're not accepting that less than standard, that subpar treatment, okay? Or they start feeling that way towards you because they accept that. They've gotten content with that kind of treatment, right? So they feel a way because you don't. Do you think you better than me? That's what they be asking. You think you better than me because you don't got a dude that beat on you or whatever? You think you all of that? I do. That's why I hold myself to a certain standard. And just because you think you're the shit, that does not mean that you have to be conceited. You don't have to be conceited about that, right? The failure in that aspect comes because people like to get contentious because they chose to settle. And they don't want to hold themselves accountable or accept the fact that they made that choice to settle. Don't be mad at me, sis. Be mad at yourself. You did that, right? You chose to be content in that failure. Because once you dropped your standards or once you settled for subpar treatment, you became content to be around that. That's your choice. Lack of accountability is the reason why so many people choose to stay in toxic environments or situations because they choose to blame everything or everybody else around them for their lack of achievement and or personal and soul growth. And at some point, you have to realize when you're pointing the finger at somebody, you got what? 3 others pointing back at you, at yourself. So who's really to blame? While you sitting there trying to blame everybody else and point out everybody else, who's really to blame for your failure? Who's really to blame for you to be in that environment where you are surrounded with other failures like yourself? You are. Who's really to blame if you're at a dead-end job because you settled? You decided you really didn't want to work too hard and do anything. And now you're older, time has passed, and you just a bum. You're the one to blame for that. Because there's always more than one way to skin a cat. I'm not saying that sometimes people have struggles and stuff. But what I'm saying is faith without works is dead. So if you're in a situation that feels like it's dead end, or if you're at a point in your life where you feel as though you're stuck, or the things that you're doing are not working out, you feel as though you're failing, that's for you to try another avenue, all right? That's for you to have faith to keep pushing and find a way out of those circumstances instead of becoming content and settling with that. We got enough Christopher Columbuses around this motherfucker. Stop settling. Stop becoming content in your failure. Hold yourself accountable. Stop making excuses. What can you do to change that? Ask yourself that shit. Those other fingers that are pointed at you, you see these fingers that's pointed at you? Hold yourself accountable and answer those questions for yourself. That way you won't feel away when you see other people achieving their dreams and their goals because they were not content to settle in their failure. A part of life, a part of growth, a part of soul growth, a part of success is failing first because that's how you learn what not to do. That shows if you really have the grit or the chutzpah for those, luxe dreams that you say that you have. If it doesn't work out the first time, are you going to be content to just give up and go with all the rest of the people who they were only dreamers, or they were content to just keep it as a dream and a thought? Ask yourself that. You can be surrounded by failure when you submerge yourself with a culture that inhibits your growth or limits your potential. And examples of that are, gangs, the projects and stuff, which I know some people have no choice. However, when you see that everything is a hot ass shit show around you, and you see that everybody around you is a product of the environment in a negative way, and all that is coming is disease, distress, death, contentious attitudes, right? And you do nothing to change that. Instead, you decide, well, shit, fuck it. I got to get it how I live. It is what it is. You don't want to see outside the box because, it's too hard. It's too much work. You don't even want to try. You're content to just submerge yourself in that culture, and continue those generational curses. It's a problem, boo-boo. It's a problem. You're stunting your own growth. I'm going to tell you something. There is always a way out. You always have a choice. I don't give a fuck what your environment around you is telling you. You always have a choice. You make a choice to do better for yourself, to be more positive, to change your environment. You set that intention first within yourself. You put it out to the universe and you take those steps. You walk by faith and not by sight. And just watch how the universe will open up opportunities for you. And the same way that the universe and God opens up those opportunities for you, the devil is going to come and try to throw curveballs at you and give you illusions that things are not going to work out. But that right there is a test of your faith in itself. How bad do you want it? Huh? When you seem like you're surrounded by failure and stuff, but you know in your heart that you're not a failure, what are you going to do about it? You gonna let everything around you tell you who you know you really are? Who do that? You see me giving you the side eye, right? Just saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Some examples also of situations like that where you submerge yourself in a culture that inhibits your growth or limits your potential are parenting fails, such as not instilling proper morals and values in your child just because they weren't instilled in you, even though you see how it affected your life and caused you to feel unfulfilled. Now, why would you do that? You should always want your children to do better than you. You should always want your children to be better off than you. Always. Those who know better do better. And a lot of people like to claim, wear that cloak. Oh, I'm a product of my environment. That was a choice. That was a choice. Because if I was to choose to have been a product of my environment, I would probably be a fucking prostitute, crackhead, porn star, whore, druggie, rock star, domestic violence queen somewhere with a record 75,000 miles long because I would have kicked everybody's ass who did me wrong. But no. Okay? No. Right? Parents, we got to do better. That hood rich shit, that ghetto fabulous life that we thought that we wanted, that shit ain't work out. We see where that shit ended us. We see where that shit ended our parents at. Don't be content in that failure. Don't surround yourself in that failure, that stigma, because you're cursing your own generations by doing that. You're blocking your own blessings. You're blocking your children's blessings by doing that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Friends is another example. Surrounding yourself with people who only identify with the old you. People who have no true ambition or long-term goals and are content to live in the same cycles they see in the community that indubitably lead to poverty, incarceration, and the accumulation of more generational curses and statistics. Y'all ever heard that saying? Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you really are, or some shit like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That one. Yeah. There's a lot of truth in that. There's a lot of truth in that. It really is. Because I remember one point in time I had all my friends were hoes. All my friends were hoes at one time. I was the only one who genuinely was not a hoe. I was not a hoe. I just had the hoes. You feel me? But I got tired of constantly being tried whenever I went out because my friends carried themselves a certain way. And I'm sitting there looking all prissy and stush, and then somebody come across and talk to me sideways, and then I get stank and I get mad, and they're like, well, shit, I just said that same shit to your homegirl. Now she back there sucking my boy dick and shit. And then I feel stupid, like, I'm not like that. Well, why are you there? And I had to ask myself, why? Well, why am I here? Right? Pick your friends wisely. It really does matter. If you surround yourself with 6 millionaires, guess what? You will be the 7th one. You surround yourself with 6 hoes, you will be the 7th one. I didn't want to be the 7th hoe, so I left. You should leave too. Just saying, right? Another example would be jobs, right? Willing to work dead-end jobs with no growth potential because the people around you do as well, due to a need for instant gratification, or doing illegal activity for the same reason in order to portray the illusion of being hood rich, as I said before. When you are aware that the longevity of such endeavors will either land you dead or in jail, which in turn will repeat the generational curses and toxic cycles seen around you. I think that one right there is self-explanatory. I don't really got to talk too much about that one now, do I? Because we have all seen people who do this. We have all known people who do this. We have. Some of us might have even done it ourselves. But you know what? That's okay, because as long as you realize at some point, this is not getting me anywhere. Once you're tired of doing the same shit, once you get fed up, once you get tired of getting locked up all the time, always losing, you know what I'm saying, always having to re-up every time you come out, wasting that money, then you'll stop. But where is your enough gonna be? You want to go through all of that drama and then pass it down? That's why so many children nowadays, that's why there's so many youth becoming incarcerated, okay? When you talk to them, you ask them what happened to them, they telling you, okay, I never knew my dad. He was always in prison, X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. And then the other parent didn't really do much fucking better. So they're like, well, shit, I got to go get it how I live and do X, Y, and Z and get this quick money, X, Y, and Z. No, ma'am. No, sir. Do something else. Try something else. Don't be a statistic. Think outside the box. Try new things. You never know. One of those new things you might try might be your calling. It might take you out of that predicament, but you'll never know unless you try. But you know, there's other jobs to do besides being a dope boy, besides being a criminal, besides selling pussy. All those other jobs where you just get that money real fast, because you get it so fast, you lose it fast, and then it becomes an addiction. And once you are addicted to something, you know what an addiction truly is? That is being caught in an illusion. An illusion. A destructive illusion. A toxic cycle. Only you can break those illusions. We got to be willing to do the work, guys. That's the problem. People don't want to do the work. They want to look like they're doing the work on the outside, but on the inside, they shit ain't right. That's failure. That is failure, because it's what's on the inside that counts. It's what's on the inside that counts. And at the end of the day, when that quick money leaves, when those friends leave, when that dead-end job is over, right? When all them family members done died or got locked up or whatever the fuck, what do you think is going to happen? How you think you're going to feel? Where do you think you'll be? Because for some reason, everybody always feels as though they're that one that can be different doing the same fuck shit that failed everybody else. They're that one person, they feel like they're so invincible that they can go and do the same fuck shit and succeed even though everybody else around them failed doing it. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. And that's how you end up an addict. Whether you're addicted to getting locked up, addicted to drugs, addicted to the hood life, the toxic relationships, the trifling ass friends and the drama, the gossip, all of that is failure that you're surrounding yourself around. And you'll never make it to where you truly need to be. Fucking want where you need to be this lifetime for your soul's growth and for true peace, which starts within. When you have a calling on your life, people see it on you before you do. It's harder to believe in that potential when you are surrounded by people who have failed to see their own potential. or are too lazy to even try because they don't want to do the work. You'd be surprised how many people don't want to do the work. You'd be surprised how many people are failures around you and they see your potential, and so they'll try to latch onto you, drain your energy, right? They'll try to come up off of your good vibrations while holding you down. And in the end, y'all all fail. Who do that? Those people will try to discourage you from success because misery loves company. I'm gonna say that again because I don't think you heard me right there in the back. Those people will try to discourage you from success because misery loves company, and failures do not want to see other people succeed, no matter who they are to you. That means your mama too. Trust me, I know. Keep that in mind. See, I had to write that. Keep that in mind because y'all really need to what? Keep that in mind. It be the ones closest to you, the ones that you surround yourself with. If they ain't doing shit with themselves, look, I guarantee you they don't want you to do shit either. At least not better than them. How dare you? Who you think you are? You think you better than everybody? Because you trying? Because you're not content with this failure? How dare you? It's always the people who are closest to you who have failed in some aspect of their life, whether it's parenting, relationships, pursuing their true passions, or even with managing money and finances, who will try to dissuade you from taking a leap of faith or pursuing your true dreams and goals because they were unable to for whatever reason. Facts. Think about that. I'm going to say it again. It is always the people who are closest to you who have failed in some aspect of their life, whether it is parenting, relationships, pursuing their true passions, or even with managing money and finances, who will try to dissuade you from taking a leap of faith or pursuing your true dreams and goals because they were unable to for whatever reason. And what the reason is that they were unable to do that might be some of these things that I listed right here. Know when you are being cuckolded, okay? Know when somebody is insulting your intelligence. Know when somebody energetically is trying to bring you down. Know when somebody does not want you to do better than them or succeed. Actions always speak louder than words, but sometimes when people speak, you have to read between the lines. Listen to your intuition, okay? Get that discernment and stop surrounding yourself with failure. That is the first step. I hope you guys took that message to heart. I love you all. Be blessed. But also, don't forget to check me out on Etsy at Empress Oracle Shop, where I have all kinds of healing crystals that can aid you as you find yourself, as you gain your strength on your spiritual journey. I have body butters that'll make you look all smooth and delicious to bring you abundance, to bring you love, and even to protect your energy from people like this, the failures that want to bring you down. That's on Etsy at Empress Oracle Shop. I love you guys. Be blessed and have a wonderful day.